Hello and welcome back. So let's get going. The last one we started on the starter node, but I am actually going to do this. Just because we're not really using this one, so I'm just gonna make it to one line. And let's just clean up a little. Yeah, that looks beautiful. Alright, so start is done. Beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful about saving. We'll also look at the assembly thing a little later on, so it becomes faster to save. So let's have a look at let's just take the event node. Let's just take them one after each other. So let's have a look at the event node and my notes. Yes, this is a beautiful example. All right, so we need the event data. I'm just gonna copy paste it over. And let's just make this one liner again. Beautiful. All right, as you can see, we are simply putting in the event data. So when we are using the event node, instead of making variables up here where we save all the data, we're simply just going to make a event data and save it there. That way we have to write less code, and writing less code is beautiful. Yes. Alright, so I'm just gonna copy paste this over as there are comments on it. There we go. Not the most beautiful comments. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm not doing the underscore thingy anymore. I told myself this was a good idea, and in the end, I worked with others that found it extremely confusing that I was using underscore in the parameter when you normally use it on privates. So I stopped doing that simply because it confused other people. So I let you go into start and just fix it there as well. And remember, you have to do the renaming, or else it will not do it everywhere. So that's always nice to know. Alright, so in here we need a top button. So I'm just gonna copy paste it over first. Alright, so what does this tab button contain? Well, it contains a menu, and in that menu we are going to name it, you know what, how about we actually make the event thing over here, you can see it. So let's drag it over, and we have it right here. So, this is the menu. Can we yeah, that's good enough. So, this is the menu part here, as you can see, and we are adding the add event. And then under here we will go menu, dot menu, that's nice naming. Applicate action. This is when we click on it, we are adding a button we can then click on, and we will then run that action called a drop down menu action. And then we'll use the lumbar expression to add in a method that we want it to run. Alright, so to make sure this is made when we actually made the node, we are going to add it in the top. Alright, so let's actually add the functions. So the first function, sorry, methods. Oh, this is wrong. The first method we're going to use is the add string event. And as you can see, this is not really that big of an event now, is it? That's because everything else is done inside the base node where we added it all this time. Or previous, maybe. Alright, so you can see this works beautifully. And we simply just reference it up here. And as you can see, it can also take in an already existing string event, string data, event data string modifier. And that is because that when we save the data and load it in again, we want the load function to be able to get a hold of adding strings, meaning when we load it in, it actually, let's give you an example here. We can save this, so when we delete this and load it in, it also loads in all of the events we have created. So that's why it can get one of those. So that's pretty much it. Now, we actually did not make a base node method for the dialog event OS, as you can see. So we're actually making the entire thing in here as we used to do. with that it in the parameter we get a container of the dialog event OS, where we also make a new one, and then we check if it is null. If it is not null, we simply just load the data over in it, and then we add it to the list in the top. Not in the list, yeah, in the list inside the data node. We can go in here, and we can see it has a string modifier and dialog event OS. And the OS stands for scriptable object. Alright, and then we make the box. And again, let's just open this one up here. So this is the box it is inside. And then we make the field itself, that is this field. And then we add the button. This is the button over here. And then we add the field and the button inside the box, which is this entire thing here. And we then add the box to the entire main container, which is the big black area. Of course, in the button, we make sure that if we click the delete button, we are actually deleting the entire thing, and we are removing it from the list where it contains all the dialog OS. So this way we can add a new dialog OS and we can remove it. Alright, I hope that makes sense. And that is pretty much it for dialog for the node event. That's pretty simple, right? Indeed it is. Alright, so let's open up the next one. Let it compile. So, end node. If it want to open it, there we go. Alright, so we're just gonna go up, and click it all together. And we are going to copy paste the event data, the end node data over. And it actually just have this inside of it because it's rather small what is supposed to be in it. So actually let's make a method for this called make main container, just so it's it makes it a little cleaner. Oh, so if you finally want to add some more to the main container, it's not getting too I forgot the English word for it again. Too much stuff up here. Hope that makes sense. And then we actually also going to use onload in load value in field. And we literally just check if it has a field container. This is just a null check. And we just check if we load it in. Does it already have the data in it? If it does, well, then we need to set the enum field to be that one. I hope that makes sense, but that's pretty much when we load it in. We make sure that it is the right collect. Let's just show it over here. That's probably easier. So when we load it in, like let's say go back to start, save, and we just check something else. I'm going to take log in. It goes to the one that we actually selected. All right, and that is the end node. See, it's a lot easier when you just have this thing here you call from the other one that does all the blibbity blabbity. Alrighty, so let's see what is next on the shopping list. That's actually dialog node, but that's the big one, so I'm gonna save that. So let's instead take branch node. Oh, actually, I think we forgot inside didn't we forget inside event node to actually add some yes, we didn't add the style sheet thingy. That is my bad. So we're gonna add the style sheet info event node, and we node, yes. So let's actually open up the event node color, event node, there we go. I'm just gonna copy paste it over, blibbity blop, and save. So this is for the box row, for the event. I think this is for the box, yes, here. We add the specific USS class to it. Where did it go up here? There it is. just to make sure that we tell it it's supposed to be a row direction. And then here we just color it. We're actually not using this at the moment, but I just added in so you can do stuff with it if you want to. So let's save that. Go back and actually see if it works. So event. And as you can see, we now have it. Of course, right now we cannot save it and we cannot load it. But of course, later on, whenever you change the, what's it called? Whenever you change the USS, sometimes it will give an error because it has changed how it's supposed to look. And therefore you need to sometimes close it down and open it up again for it to correctly load it in. So so if you get an error every time you change something on here, that's literally just because it's trying to load something in that it cannot load in because it was instantiated it without the style sheet. So if you get errors and it's not gonna work, all you have to do is just go close tab, roll all the way down, and open it anew. And that should fix it. That's literally because if you go in and instantiate, let's say this node, and you after that go into the code and say, when instantiating, add this specific style sheet to it, and then you go in and change the style sheet, well, it knows it's supposed to change the style sheet, but you have not instantiated with the style sheet in it. I, I hope that makes sense. Sorry, that's a little rant. So let's just continue. Okie dokie. So let's just do the branch node. I'm gonna open up my nodes for the branch node as well. And let's just make this look a little better. And we're gonna, of course, gonna take the branch node data here. So we have a reference and everything, and then we're gonna copy the style sheet everywhere. Beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, we can actually, I think we can just remove this. And we just need to add this one in over. And there we go. That is it. That was pretty easy, right? So let's just quickly look what we're doing here. Well, we have the toolbar menu. That is again, let me just quickly find it on the other screen. Here we have it. Alright, so this is this one here. Right here, add a condition. We just name it and then we go into the application and say application action, string condition, and we just click it here, string condition. I can see I have removed the event part from this one apparently. Should we add the event? No, let's keep the event part here just because. Oh, no, what I'm doing. This is what. Here we go. All right. It is a string event, so I might as well just call it a string event. And then we add it down here, and we can of course just go into here and have a look see. And that is what we went through the other video where we generally just added. What is this tile button contenter? That add. Oh yeah. That's that is this area up here. So that's the tile button container. So we can tell it we want it to be put up here. So that's literally what this is. Okie dokie. That was rather short for an entire node, right? So let me just get the style sheet quickly for this one. And let's go into our own style sheet and just go paste that over that. There, that's just the coloring pretty much. So we're gonna save that and go back in. Probably gonna give us an error. Did. And then we can go in and say branch, and we can now see it's now purple, and we can now add the event and set them as we want. Beautiful. Okie dokie. Yeah, those are not really gonna do anything right now. So let's check. Let's take the choice node. The choice node. I think that's a little bigger one. If I remember correct. I'm just gonna copy paste this over. Bloopity bleep. And we need the reference. There we go. Alrighty. So we have the data here and this box here we will get to understand soon. Next up we have all of this. I'm just gonna copy paste all of this over and we will go through it. And I can see we forgot this part again. Yeah, those two and those down here are arrows, that's fine. Alright, so we of course set the editor and graph view stuff. We set the style sheet up here. We set the title, position, code known, and we have the import, and we have the output of. Yeah, and this is where we actually start to use the color system. Let's just quickly jump over here so you can see. So we have the dialog, and we add choices, and we just let me just give you an example of the int node and choice node. So you can see this one cannot connect to the yellow. This can only blue can connect to blue, and only yellow can connect to yellow. Meaning that we can, in the system already right now, say, well, those here are supposed to be a choice. So that way we can make sure that only choices connects to a choice node. That way, when we load out the data, we already know that those here are supposed to be a choice, pretty much just a button you're supposed to click on. And then we can also add stuff here, but that's not right now. We're gonna do that. So let's go back in here. That is why that's why we do make it out to be a value. So we can go down here and color the port yellow. All right. So let's actually add the different. Oh damn, that's a lot. Why does it do that? That don't make much sense. Oh. Alright, right. I'm just gonna copy paste all of it. I think that's gonna be easier. Pluck. And let's just go up. Oh, that's the reference. Is there one more reference in this better? No, good. Goody. Alright, let's go through them. So we have the top button. That top button is like we are used to. Just this big button up here, and we can click this condition. Not condition. We can add this method, and that's just right here. So what are we actually going to add when we add click this one? Well, we are going to add this specific function that we added in the base node. I'm not going to go through this as we already went through it. But we are pretty much adding the condition, as you can see when we go in here and click add condition. As you can see. But you'll also notice one thing, that whenever we have one, this thing here will pop up. And when we don't have it, it will not pop up. So what is that? Well, that is the show and hide choice enum. So let's actually roll down to that one. So the show and hide enum is right here, where we show and hide the specific choice state enum box. As you can see, the choice enum box is this one here. Let's see where we're actually making it. We are making it here, and we are making it right there. So what are we doing? Well, we are making a box, and we are adding it. We're giving it the box row. We're telling it should hide and show it. Next up, we are going to add the label if the condition is not met, and of course the USS. And we're going to add the enum field. And we're both going to add those into the box. And we're going to add that box to the main container as the first thing. Sorry, my headset went out, so I'm just gonna quickly put on some random ass music. So my headset will not go out. That is the beautiful thing about having a wireless headset. Oh, that's loud. Let me just make sure that, yeah, you should not be able to hear it. Alright, good. Where was I? Yeah. So the enum field here, we instantiated it here. Let's go into that again. We already made that in a previous episode, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about that one. But the idea behind this is, oh yeah, let's actually, we should have ShowHide. Let's go down the rabbit hole and into ShowHide. As you can see right here now, it takes in the list where it counts if it's bigger than 0. So if it's bigger than 0, then it means it will return a true if it is, and a false if there's zeros in the list. So let's go in and see what happens. So if it is equal true, well, then it will remove the height USS class from it. If it is true, well, it will add it. Meaning, when we click here, it will check if the list is 0. Right now we know there's 1 in it, and now there's 2, meaning it will now be hidden. Now it will be shown, and if you click them away, it will now be hidden. So that's the basic idea of it, that there's no reason to show it if you don't have a condition. And of course that is hidden and grayed out, where we later on go into the UI and tell it, well, if the enum condition is hidden, well, don't show the button at all. If it is grayed out, well, show the button but make it uninteractable. So you can see the option, but you can't click the option. Alright, so let's go back. So that's the idea when we add it. We also, so when we add a condition button, a condition to our choice, we also check if it should be hidden or not. And again, and that is why we are overriding the delete function, meaning when we use the delete, it will also check the show and hide function. So that's the idea behind it. Then we just have the normal reload, and we make sure that we reload in the field that it's loading the right enum. But let's see, did we jump over everything? Yeah, the text field. We think we jumped over that one. So that's pretty much just making a box. Let's just open this up here. So this is just pretty much this box where we can write blah 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 blah. And again, it also have the placeholder. As you can see here, we're getting we're getting a text field where we tell it what text it should use, the language, generic language list of all our different languages with the text in, and let's see, what is this? That's the placeholder, just text, and the USS for for enum for text fields, and then we add that into the choice text field, so we know which one we are supposed to reference. Then we add it to the container. Then we make the object field, and that is of course for the audio clips. We do the same thing. Add it, and then at the end we add the box container, and we also make sure to reload the language. This way we make sure that the language that we have that's been loading in is the correct language. Alright. I think that was it for it. In theory we could just have this entire thing both here and here, but I like the idea that if I want to change how this works, I can just reference the method itself. So that's my reasoning for doing that, as we are using it a couple of places. And I think that should be the choice node. Right, let's save that. And let's just move this over here. And I think that should be it. We have the branch node. Oh, we haven't colored this one yet, have we? Let's just quickly go in and color it. So, choice node. Come on. choice node. Let's copy paste this over. As you can see, I changed the level a little bit. I also made sure that the enum has a specific size, and of course just the color and the color of the text. Let's save that. And go back in here. And we should now be able to add the choice node. Beautiful, let's see, does this work? It does, beautiful. Yes, that works as it should. Beautiful, beautiful. Okie dokie. Alright, so in next episode we will go in and look at the dialog node, which is probably the most complicated node of them. And after that, well, we can actually start going in and saving and loading some stuff. So, thank you for watching.